world? This is your boy DJ Karolina X, representing 102.5 The Block, Charlotte's home for hip hop and R&B. And I'm joined by my co-hosts from the Beyond the Bell podcast, Mr. Carlito Cannon and Blackout Jones. Now, this man does not need any introduction, but we're gonna aspire to give him one anyway. This upcoming Wednesday, we have the First Horizon Coliseum in Greensboro, North Carolina, for AEW's Blood and Guts. And right now, we have our very special guest, multi-time tag team champion, one half of the best tag team in the world to me, FTR. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Mr. Dax Harwood. How's it going today, Mr. Dax?
Thank you, dude. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's not too bad. Just got home from Houston, Texas, and come to hang out with you guys.
That's what's up. Appreciate you taking the time out your busy schedule to join us today. How was that flight for you? Like, I know with everything going on with the shutdown, has travel been, pretty easy going for you or anything of that nature?
I've been bad at all. I mean, you hear all the things on TV and it sounds scary, but so far, okay. That's not to say that it's not going to be bad, but it's been all right. Not too bad.
Right. So far, so good. So far, so good. Yeah, man. I like to start off these interviews, with a little icebreaker, just to dive into your personal life. What is on your playlist? So we're a music station. We like to listen to a lot of music. So definitely want to know, what are you listening to as far as any personal tracks, anything while you're in the gym, working out, getting the weights in, anything, to pump you up before a big match. What is in your playlist?
Well, when I have my headphones in, especially in the gym or in the airport, I'm usually listening to nothing. I just have the headphones in so nobody will talk to me. But a lot of people don't know this, but for 5 years, from 4.5 years, from 2008 until 2012, I was a DJ in Wilmington, North Carolina for the biggest party bar in town. It was called City Limits Saloon.
Limits, yes, sir.
And so I all kinds of music is what I listen to. I don't think I'm up to date on a lot of the newer things because I have a daughter and she goes to the radio. So like I know about like Billie Eilish and Sabrina Carpenter and all that stuff.
Right.
For my time, like I love all music. I love pop. I love hip hop. I love country. I think like for me, there's this guy named Travis Tritt. He's an old country guy, but even Patti LaBelle talked about how he could have been in her genre of music at her time. I don't know if it's okay to say now, but I think, to me, I'm not speaking as a person, I'm speaking as an artist. I think the most unique and maybe could have been the greatest hip hop artist of all time is Kanye. I think one of the best lyricists of all time is Andre 3000. Then I listen to a lot of rock too. So there's nothing off limits for me. It's just like I said again, I don't control the radio anymore. My wife and my daughter, they control everything in the house. I just give them money and they do it.
That's it. ATM.
Yeah,
that's
it. To piggyback off of that, I did not know that you were a DJ, so I need to take pointers from you when it comes down to the music, man. And there's no limits when it comes down to me too. I listen to anything from Van Halen to Billie Eilish to Kanye as well. So we're definitely in the same boat when it comes down to that. So definitely want to pass it over to my guy Carlito if you have any questions that you want to ask Mr. Harwood today.
I'm gonna let Black take over on this because Black is he is our Mr. Resident AEW of our podcast. We all love AEW, but he is at the forefront, and he's one of those guys that he's going to every show. He is watching every week. He's recording Collision and watching it as it's going on. So Black, you got a couple questions for Mr. Harwood, bro?
Oh yeah, and just to add that in, I was at the first show, Double or Nothing in Vegas.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was 4 rows back from the ring. So
let's go.
Yeah, I've been an AEW fan since day one. My first question: we all know the history between FTR and the Briscoes, and the wars that y'all all had in Ring of Honor. But in those 3 matches, including the last match at Final Battle, back in December of 2022, what could you say that separated the Briscoes from any other tag team that you all faced during your time, respectively?
I think that's easy. I think authenticity. I think that what they were and what you saw is who they are and what they are. We wrestled a lot. We've wrestled all the greatest tag teams in the world. I mean, from the Rock and Roll Express, who were big in the 80s, the Hardy Boys, who were big in the 90s, and like you said, the Briscoes, who are one of the greatest ever to do it too. We've only been in the ring with those guys 3 times, and those were the 3 matches you saw. And never touched before. We had never met before. But I think the authenticity that they had, and they didn't like to do a lot of the flashy, just like us. We like to base our wrestling matches around emotions and making people believe and making people feel, and they did too. I think they're probably, like I said, I'll say it again one last time, the most authentic professional wrestlers that I've ever been in the ring with in 21 years.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. That's a testament to guys bringing great tag team wrestling into the business. And that's something I want to discuss as well with you and Cash. Is that something that you guys always wanted to portray as far as no flips, just fists? Did you guys want to abbreviate the authenticity of tag team wrestling as far as mat based? Get in the ring, grapples, holds, anything of that nature. Is that something you guys always wanted to do from the beginning, or that's something that you guys pivoted along the way?
I think that's something I always wanted to do because my ass can't flip or anything. I just pretended to make it part of my gimmick, you know what I'm saying? Just so I have to not do this stuff. But for Cash, he can do everything. Like he can do 450s, he can do shooting star presses, he can dive, he can do everything. But the reason we did it was because when we first started, I saw the landscape of wrestling and what it was becoming, right? It was wrong or bad. I'm right and they're wrong, but I saw what wrestling was becoming, and wrestling was becoming more of like an artistic, trying to be too unique, trying to almost like this sounds terrible. I shouldn't say this, but to peel the curtain back a little bit, almost looking choreographed, right? That's not the wrestling that's not what I loved. And I knew and believed in our abilities so much that if we didn't take that same route that everybody else was, right? That if we didn't take that same route of doing all these crazy moves or like making it look like a dance, I believed in our abilities enough to make the people emotionally connect to us, whether they loved us or hated us, that it would work. And for 2 guys who were 5'10", you hear my voice, you can hear how I talk, bald head. For 2 guys who look like us, we don't look like what Hulk Hogan looked like, or what the Ultimate Warrior looked like, or The Rock. But if we've become this successful, thank God, if we've become this successful, believing in the mantra of no flips, just fists, and going against the grain of what everyone else was doing, I think we turned out okay.
Oh yeah, for sure.
More than okay.
Looking back on your wall, absolutely. Absolutely.
You got another question for him, Black?
Yeah. So 5 years ago this month, FTR and the Young Bucks faced off at Full Gear for the first time. What was that moment like for you two, not only to go against arguably one of the best tag teams in the world, but consider yourselves as the best tag team in the world as well?
Yep. It was almost surreal. You think about the world 5 years ago. It was a whole different world 5 years ago. It was at Full Gear this year. Full Gear on November 22nd. Sold out Prudential Center. It's going to be jam packed. But Full Gear 5 years ago was the first event. I believe it was the first event that we had actually brought in fans, and we could only fill up the arena like 25%.
25%. Yeah.
We had fans in the arena, and so we were so fortunate and blessed and lucky that this match could finally be, because we were so afraid that we were going to have to do this match in front of nobody. But God allowed us to do this in front of people, and it was the first time that I got to hear cheers in a long time because of the pandemic. And I just remember going into this match, it took a lot for me I couldn't wrap my mind around it and how I wanted to approach the match because I was putting so much pressure on myself because you have the Young Bucks and you had FTR and of a generation, the two greatest tag teams of this generation. And so we had a lot of expectations that we had to meet.
Yeah.
And I just remember that when the finish happened, I was on the floor and I heard the people. It was like 1,200 people.
Yeah.
I heard them and I broke down and cried because I was like, man, we have missed this. Because what we do is for that live audience, is for the people. I don't know if I'd be able to go out there and kill my body if I knew that there wasn't someone who was appreciating it. And so it meant a lot to have that match, FTR versus the Young Bucks 5 years ago.
Okay.
We definitely appreciate what you guys do. I mean, we continue to say it, and it's pretty much true. You guys are, without a doubt, absolutely one of the greatest tag teams to ever grace the squared circle. I think for me, I do have a question. Blood and Guts is coming up this Wednesday. You guys were in the first one with, the Pinnacle versus the Inner Circle. What do you remember most about that match? And, with a style of a match like that, there's some lasting effects. Do you have anything that you can you walked away from feeling afterward that you may be feeling today? Or is there anything, left over?
So that match, that Blood and Guts match, I have a huge scar. I mean, it's hard to see up here, but I have a huge scar on my forehead that I took with me. Now, directly after the match, I didn't feel shit because I had, but
Adrenaline.
But we did this thing in the match where we cut open the canvas and exposed. And I remember I believe we hit a spike pile driver. And I remember that hurt like hell. That was one of the hardest things I've ever taken in my life. But Blood and Guts is, it almost sounds cliche to say, but it is a life-changing experience for a professional wrestler because there's a lot of things that go into it and a lot of things that can go wrong in just a short amount of time. Two rings side by side surrounded by a steel cage. And you've got 10 guys. And so a lot of things can go wrong. Chaos is definitely going to ensue. And that's what's going to happen in Greensboro, I believe, this Wednesday night. Guys who don't like each other, led by John Moxley, who might be the craziest person I've ever met in professional
ever.
Understatement.
So I imagine that this Wednesday you're going to see something you've never seen before.
And we got the ladies. We have the ladies involved in it as well. This is going to be the first women's Blood and Guts. I feel like that's going to be incredible.
First ever women's Blood and Guts. And the crazy thing is these girls, they're just as crazy as the guys. Like Sky Blue. Got this girl named Sky Blue who is an incredible athlete, great professional wrestler, very young, early 20s. And this girl is insanely good. And this is her dream match. She said that recently that this match is her dream match. So I would imagine that she's got some things up her sleeve too. And then of course leading that team is maybe the greatest women's wrestler of all time, Mercedes Moné, who is 12, 13, 14, 15 championships as we speak. And this will be her first Blood and Guts, her first cage ever. A lot of first times here, and I think Greensboro, which has got a rich history of professional wrestling, dating back to the Mid-Atlantic region with Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes, all the way up now to Sting's retirement just last year in front of 16,000 people. I think Blood and Guts is going to add to that tradition in Greensboro, North Carolina.
Absolutely, and that's something we're definitely going to be looking forward to. I'm kind of disappointed that you guys are not in the match because I can only imagine that Stokely Hathaway is going to be taking bumps in that match as well. If he was in it, I know he'll be diving from the top of the cage or anything of that nature. Which leads me into my next question: like, how did FTR link up with the Big Stoke?
Big Stoke.
How did that conversation coming about?
The crazy thing is when we were with the other company, right? The story's all out there. We were asking for our release. We wanted to leave. We wanted to quit. And so I had a meeting with the head of creative, and he asked me what I wanted to do, and I said, well, there's this guy named what was his name? Oh man, I can't remember his name in NXT, but I said Stokely's name. I said he's in NXT. I'd love to have him as our manager. And the head of company said, okay, that's not a bad idea, but he's going into something else. Stokely was going into something else, so we couldn't do it. Fast forward until 2021, we were starting to wrap things up. We knew that we were wrapping things up with Tully Blanchard. And I talked to Tony, and I said, hey, I think there's this guy in NXT who's an incredible mouthpiece. He can bump his ass off. And he's very entertaining. And I said, I think he'd be a great get for us. And I think we could benefit from him being our manager. So Tony hired him at my request. And we were supposed to immediately start teaming up together, 22. But as luck and fate had it, fans just all of a sudden started connecting with us on a different level than they'd ever connected. They started liking us. And so we were adored by the fans, and so we didn't want to bring in Stokely to be with us at that time, but we still had already got him the job. And so he went on to do a few things, be with a few people. It didn't work out. I think it didn't work out because some of the people that he was with were a little upset that he was outshining them, because he's a small guy, bald, short, gets no hold.
Personality though.
Huge. And me and Cash, we knew that we've been together for 11 years, right? An 82 Ford Bronco, and Stokely puts on a fresh coat of paint for us. And so we knew after 11 years being together, having somebody like Stokely, as entertaining as him, as quick-witted as him, bringing him on board is only going to make us shine even brighter, which is why we allow him to do most of the speaking. I mean, I'll speak every once in a while, but we allow him to do most of the speaking because we know what he brings to the table as far as a whole other tool for FTR. So we're lucky to have him, man. And I think he's the best in the world at what he does right now.
Absolutely.
You don't get no disagreement from me, man.
Yeah. Black Carlito, you have any final thoughts? Any final questions?
Do you have any? Go ahead, Black. Go ahead.
I do have one. And it kind of struck me because
here we go.
I've been in this wrestling fandom business for a very, very long time. And I know there are two tag teams that you truly love and that I guess what's the word? I ain't gonna say mimic, but
pattern yourself by,
which is, of course, the Midnight Express and Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson. And the Midnight Express, we're talking about Dennis Condrey and beautiful Bobby Eaton.
Right.
Yep. So I saw some names that you used to go by. And one of them was Dennis Laundrie and Casey Anderson. Is that true?
So Casey Anderson was so my name on the indies was Casey McKnight.
Okay.
And the way I got that name was I was like, shit, I need to come up with a name real quick. And so I had a Now One CD, and I turned
God.
And I saw Casey and JoJo All My Life.
Okay.
And Brian McKnight under it. So I put Casey and
wow.
But when I went to Japan, when I went to work in 01, they said that I looked and wrestled like an Anderson. So they wanted to call me Casey Anderson. So that's why I was an Anderson there. Now the Dennis Laundrie thing, there was this dumb promotion here in North Carolina, and I was vehemently against gimmicks. I hated gimmicks, right? Especially when I was coming up on the indies. But there was this promotion called Gouge, and they were only gimmicks. It was a gimmick only wrestling thing. They wanted me, and I said, well, there's no way I'm coming in and being a stupid gimmick. I'll be myself. And they pitched this storyline where I would come in and wrestle, but if I lost the match, then they got to introduce me as a different gimmick every week or every whatever. And just one day, I mean, it was only one time I wrestled, but they called me Dennis Laundrie, and like I was supposed to like get mad and beat up the announcer and all this stuff. But that's all that was.
Okay.
But yeah, okay. For you, you've been watching wrestling for a long time. So who's your favorite tag team besides me?
Who?
Already said you guys were my tag team only because FTR embodies what natural tag team
Everything.
wrestling is. When I say I pay attention to every detail as far as how you and Cash grab the rope at your corner in order to tag, you don't see too many tag teams do that every now and then. And
Yeah.
you know how you guys
Mhm.
and you heelish
The little
ways,
nuances.
right? It's the
Mm-hmm.
nuances that you guys bring to the essence of tag team wrestling. So that's why I said you guys are my favorite. Of course, before it was the four horsemen, of course of that. But Carlito, what about you?
So my answer is biased, but it's only because he's my favorite everything. But
Mm.
Sting and Lex Luger are my all-time favorite tag team, just because Sting is my all-time favorite everything in professional wrestling. Character, wrestler, uh, athlete, everything that embodies wrestling. I grew up, and I'm from the Carolinas as well, so seeing him come around to Florence Civic Center and coming to Greensboro Coliseum and going to Dorton Arena, that's my guy. So the biased answer in me is Sting and Luger, but if I had to go authentic tag teams, it's gotta be the Road Warriors. It's gotta be.
Be happy to know Sting is also a great wrestler, but he's the best, one of the best human beings I've ever met too. If you met him, dude, you would be even more in love with him. But yeah, Road
I
Warriors.
I cried when I met him, and he stopped the line and hugged me, and I broke down even harder. I was like, man, this guy is
He's legit, dude.
absolutely.
What about you, Black?
So my favorite wrestler, of course, is the Road Warriors, but honorable mention because I am old. The Fabulous Ones.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Good.
Now
Okay.
they took some questionable pictures together,
Yeah,
course.
they did. They
question
did.
promo pictures, and if you want, maybe we can start an OnlyFans for me and Cash, and we'll take those pictures for you.
Yeah.
But Fabulous, I was actually trained by Steve Kern at
Okay.
FTW,
Yeah.
and Steve is the man, dude. He only because he wasn't on national TV for very long, people don't know how good he was. But
Yeah,
Mhm.
those guys were the Rock and Roll Express before the Rock and Roll Express, so
exactly.
hell of a team too.
Because I'm from Tennessee, so I used to watch a lot of Memphis wrestling. So
Oh, okay, nice.
Absolutely, absolutely. Last question. We just went through a list of tag teams, present and past. So definitely want to dig into your brain as far as any tag team that you and Cash did not step into the ring with that you would like to the ring today. It could be past, present, or future.
Oh God, yeah. Past is a lot. I mean, uh, I'd love to. Obviously, my favorite of all time is Bret the Hitman Hart. I mean, I think he's the greatest everything. And I'm blessed and fortunate now to call him a friend, and we text all the time. But I'd love to wrestle the Hart Foundation.
Hart Foundation.
I'd love to have wrestled the Fantastics. They were
yeah,
a tag team that was before. They were. If they would have come in wrestling, if they would have come around about 10 years later, I think they would have been looked at a little bit differently. Fantastics. Obviously, like we said, Arn and Tully and the Midnight Express are my.
Of course.
And I'm blessed also to talk to Andre all the time. He'll text me after all my matches and give me critiques. Same thing with Arn. I talk to Arn all the time. But as far as teams nowadays, like that I'd like to wrestle, I don't know. I think we've wrestled everybody, man. We
Everybody.
Pretty much did it, yeah.
I will
They've
tell you,
seen it.
I'll tell you, Jet Speed is I text
Yeah.
Gable this, who works in the other company. I text Chad Gable. I said, Jets, we have more chemistry. We have more chemistry with Jet Speed than anybody else we've had since we wrestled American Alpha. I think Kevin Knight is going to be. I think he's going to be our main event ace. Maybe.
Yeah.
I've never been with someone in the ring who knows ring positioning, who's as smart as he is, who knows timing. Like that guy, I could say a million good things about him, but he will be a big star for us in about 3 to 5 years.
Yeah, extremely amazing. Extremely amazing.
Incredible.
Even
I get to sit ringside.
Right.
I get to sit ringside at when he wrestles in Charlotte at Ashe, and even talking with him after the matches, the way he breaks it down, it's like the science behind why he does what he does, and his timing, it's phenomenal.
Oh yeah, he's incredible. Are you guys going to be in Greensboro?
Oh yes, sir, absolutely.
No
I
question.
live 8 minutes from First Horizon. I don't have a choice but to go.
Did you ever go to the CWF shows that were in like, okay, all right.
Yes, sir.
You ever see me there at any time or no?
So it's crazy. I'm trying to jog my memory because when you said City Limits, I think I remember seeing you DJ at City Limits because one of my best friends went to UNCW. And so like the memories that are pulling from the back of my head, I feel like I've watched you a time or two.
Yeah, I only wrestled in CWF a few times. Because they were cheap asses and they didn't pay, and so I wasn't gonna go wrestle. But
that ring sound like it hurt.
My best friends, like Brad Stutz, he was a manager there. We had a lot. They had a lot of good talent there. But yeah, I didn't know if you had ever.
So I've been to CWF. I went to a couple of LAW shows. I actually saw you at an Omega show back in the day, like way back in the day. So it's anything North Carolina related wrestling wise. I've at least touched.
Well, yeah, I hope I get to see you guys Wednesday then.
You definitely will.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, I feel like you got a little pull. I feel like you can make that happen.
I'll talk with Danny after this and see if we can get connections. And
absolutely,
awesome.
Danny, you heard it first. Danny, I know you hear me. I know you hear me, Danny. You heard it from the man himself.
I didn't say it. I just agree with it. That's all.
The fans can't see it, but he says, I'm right here. Yeah,
there we go.
You heard it. You heard it. But yeah, just want to enlighten everyone that AEW Blood and Guts will be at the First Horizon Coliseum in Greensboro, North Carolina this Wednesday, November 12th. AEWTix.com is where you're going to get your tickets. Our station will be giving away tickets, and you'll be able to see Mr. FTR himself. You're going to be able to see Hangman versus Powerhouse Hobbs. You'll see both the men's and women's Blood and Guts match, which is going to be a phenomenal night. Definitely want to give out a gracious thank you for Mr. Dax Harwood for joining us today. Any last comments that you want to give out to your fans, or any inspirational comments that you want to give out to anybody?
No, not inspirational now, because they don't like me now, so I don't.
I say he's not a baby face right now, bro. You're trying to put him on the spot.
Come on, man. But yeah, man.
I will say that Wednesday night, I think, is going to be a very special night, and it'll go down in history, in AEW history, as one of the greatest nights in Dynamite, because, again, like you said, first ever woman's Blood and Guts inside of a steel cage, 2 rings. I think it's going to be a night. And we forgot the Nature Boy Ric Flair and Ricky the Dragon.
Oh yeah.
Woo!
Yeah. Come on and see Mr. Woo Man and Mr. Dragon, the Steam. Oh Lord, I'm all over the place.
Tongue tied, tongue twisted.
And Ric Flair himself, man. We got the Carolina boys all on for AEW this weekend or this Wednesday. So make sure y'all pull up. Make sure y'all get y'all tickets at AEWTix.com. I'm DJ Karolina X, Carlito Cannon, Blackout Jones from the Beyond the Bell podcast. Dax Harwood from the best tag team in the world to me, Mr. FTR. Hey, we are out. You guys have a great one.
Thank you.